Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we unravel the science behind the spectacular, the strange, and the socky. Today's question comes from one of our sea-loving viewers, DunphyTimmy_005. Thanks for the suggestion, Timmy. You asked, what causes a tsunami? Tsunamis aren't your average waves. These are the ocean's equivalent of a mic drop, except way less fun and with considerably more water. They don't just soak your socks, they can rearrange coastlines, turn cars into bathtub toys, and make beachfront property a little too exciting. Today, we're diving deep into what triggers these massive walls of water, why they pack such a punch, and why you should never ignore a beach that suddenly turns into a desert. So put on your floaties and hold onto your inflatable flamingo as we break it down, right here on Explaining Everything. First, let's clear something up. A tsunami is not just a big wave. It's not the result of strong winds or Poseidon having a bad day. Regular waves are mostly caused by wind blowing across the surface of the water. They might ruin your beach hair, but they're harmless in comparison. Tsunamis? Different beast. These waves are caused by massive displacements of water. We're talking about the ocean getting slapped so hard it sends ripples across continents. Imagine dropping a bowling ball into a kiddie pool. Now imagine that kiddie pool is the Pacific Ocean. That's the kind of energy we're dealing with. The number one cause of tsunamis: earthquakes. Not the kind where your coffee trembles slightly and your cat glares at you like it was your fault. We mean the real tectonic shifting, plate grinding, planet jostling kind. Most tsunamis are triggered by underwater earthquakes, especially in subduction zones, places where one tectonic plate dives beneath another. When that stress builds up and finally releases, the seafloor suddenly moves, displacing an enormous amount of water. Boom! Tsunami. It's like the ocean gets yanked by the collar and doesn't know what to do except panic and rush toward land. While earthquakes hog most of the tsunami credit, other natural disasters also like to get in on the action. Volcanic eruptions. When underwater or coastal volcanoes erupt, they can displace water just like earthquakes. Lava in the ocean? Yes. Mother Nature's fondue party sometimes ends with a tsunami. Landslides. A giant chunk of land falling into the sea is like cannonballing into the deep end. The bigger the splash, the more powerful the tsunami. Meteorites. This is more of a Hollywood scenario, but technically, if a big enough space rock smacks into the ocean, it could cause a tsunami. So yeah, Bruce Willis movies weren't entirely wrong. Glacier collapses. Yep, even ice wants in on the chaos. When a large chunk of glacier or ice shelf breaks off and plunges into the ocean, think Titanic's extended family. It can displace enough water to trigger a tsunami. It's like nature's version of dropping an ice cube into an overfilled glass. If the glass was the size of Alaska, the ice cube could crush a village. Once the ocean gets rudely shoved, the tsunami is born. But here's the weird part. Out in the open ocean, a tsunami doesn't look like much. It might be just a few feet high. You could be on a boat and never even notice it. But don't be fooled. It's traveling at jetliner speeds. We're talking 500 to 600 miles per hour. That's faster than most people can comprehend without a pilot's license. As it approaches the shore and the water gets shallower, that energy has nowhere to go but up. It slows down and grows taller and taller until suddenly you've got a monstrous wave rolling in like it owns the place. You might not have seismic sensors in your pocket, but nature sometimes leaves clues. Earthquake? If you're near the coast and feel the ground shake, don't wait for an official tweet. Head for higher ground. Does water suddenly disappear from the shore? That's not an invitation to go shell collecting. That's the ocean pulling back before it comes crashing in. Weird roar or rumble from the sea. It's not whales beatboxing. It's bad news. Tsunamis can strike within minutes. So if something feels off, trust your instincts and move like you're racing for the last slice of pizza. Let's clear up some classic tsunami misconceptions. Tsunamis are single, giant waves. Nope, they're usually a series of waves, like the worst encore ever. The first one might not be the biggest. Tsunamis only happen in the Pacific. While the Pacific's Ring of Fire is the busiest zone, tsunamis can happen in any ocean. You can outswim a tsunami. Unless you're Aquaman on a jet ski, no, you cannot. If you live in a tsunami-prone area, here's how to not become a cautionary tale. Know your evacuation routes. Pay attention to tsunami warning systems. Practice tsunami drills with your family. And remember, curious is great, but don't stand around filming with your phone. Nature doesn't care if you're going viral. So, what causes a tsunami? In short, the Earth throws a tantrum and the ocean reacts. Most commonly, it's an underwater earthquake, but volcanoes, landslides, and the occasional cosmic sucker punch can join the party. Tsunamis are powerful, unpredictable, and downright terrifying, but also fascinating. They remind us that our planet is constantly moving and shaking, whether we notice or not. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.